Welcome to a nourishing midweek lunch hour conversation with Spokane's newsmakers, thought leaders, and popular entertainers. Spokane Talks Live is brought to you by our friends at Homes for You and Breakthrough Incorporated. Welcome to Spokane Talks Live.
Welcome to Spokane Talks Live. Kent Adams here. Hope you're having a good day. It's the 13th day of June. Is that a lucky day or not? Yeah, let's call it a lucky day. Do you know what tomorrow is? Tomorrow's Flag Day. And let's not forget to put our flags out in front of our homes and businesses and so forth. Hey, we've got a fun business-related program today. I'm pleased to welcome back, as he does usually almost every month, Todd Mielke, who is the Executive Director, President? CEO?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. You know, everyone has a different title anymore, and I always get it wrong. Of GSI, Greater Spokane Incorporated, otherwise known as our Chamber of Commerce, and they do a lot of things and a lot of good news of things going on in our business community. And we'll talk about that. And then a good friend of mine, Dave Nail, who owns Instant Sign Factory. He does all of our signage and for a lot of friends and so forth. And we're going to talk about what's new in that industry next on Spokane Talks Live.
For the Inland Northwest's most comprehensive sports report, think outside the porch with spokesman.com. For just 99 cents for the first month, you'll enjoy unlimited digital access to the news and sports news that affect you most. From EWU to WSU, from Northwest Preps all the way to the Seahawks, we're the local authority that makes sports in the Inland Northwest different than the rest, better than the rest. On your phone, on your desktop, and on your tablet. Subscribe to the digital experience with spokesman.com.
See you tomorrow night, and thanks again for taking care of the painting.
I got this.
Bye.
Weekends are made for painting. Let the experts at Rada Paint take care of you.
Hi. This looks amazing.
Rada Paint, over 80 years of quality, tradition, and trust. Find it in every can.
Well, welcome back. Todd Mielke.
Hello.
CEO
Yes,
of Greater Spokane Incorporated, otherwise known as GSI.
correct.
Our business leader in the community. Because
thank you.
you have really pulled together so many great organizations that work with you and the business leaders. I
Right.
mean, you have the who's who of Spokane, let's face it. And
Yes.
that's really important if we're going to get things done.
Correct.
It really is. So much going on, I don't even know where to start, but you guys are doing some great collaboration. Tell me about
Yes.
the collaboration that's
Yes.
going on.
So one of the things that happens in this community about every, 10 to 15 years
Yes.
is everybody starts doing their own thing.
Yeah.
And it may make
Can
sense.
they get a little funding here, a
Yeah,
little funding there, and then how do we pay for it second year?
It may make some sense, I guess, to those organizations, but from the outsider's perspective, it creates a lot of inconsistency. And so,
Yeah, don't have 6 organizations hit me up.
right. Well, and then what happens is everybody creates their own web pages. So when you've got businesses from outside the area that are trying to learn more about doing business in this area, it's which website do you go
Yeah,
to?
who's really in charge?
Is the messaging consistent? Are we citing the same statistics? So we've got a couple of projects that we are pursuing as GSI, trying to collaborate with our partners in economic development.
Okay.
One of those is, for years, we've had a website called Advantage Spokane. We
Okay.
also own 1-800-SPOKANE phone number.
Okay.
And one of those things that we look at is that a regional asset that we should be using to highlight economic development in this region.
Okay.
It's always been a website that has focused on external audiences, so
Right.
people outside this community.
Right.
And it's one that site selectors, those commercial brokers who are trying to find a location for their business clients,
Right.
should they be in the Northwest? And if so, should they be in Spokane?
And they're searching the site like that.
Correct.
Right.
And so that's the website they come to. And so
Okay.
what we're promoting is that we go refresh the Advantage Spokane website
Okay.
and make that the regional collaborative website for economic development.
Okay.
That first of all, the external audiences would go to that website. They would have one spot where they can get kind of an overview of the entire region, get demographic information, those kinds of things. And on that front page, there would be links to all of our economic development partners.
Right.
So if you want to learn more about staying connected through Spokane International Airport, click on that link, and they'll tell you how many direct
Spokane
routes.
or any of those.
Downtown Spokane Partnership, City of Spokane, Spokane County.
Excellent.
And so it makes sense from the perspective of websites are expensive. I mean, if you're really going to do them right, they can be expensive, and then to maintain them and to optimize them. And to optimize them. And so what we're doing is saying, instead of each creating your own and going through that whole process of trying to maintain it and optimize it, why don't you go and partners on this one? And so that's one of the regional efforts that we are pursuing, that we're undertaking. So we're just starting to launch those discussions. We're scoping the project right now.
So it'll be up next week.
A little bit longer than that.
We all know.
Yeah.
We redid our website about a year ago, and from the beginning discussion to the launching was like 6 months.
6 months.
It takes. And that may be a record, and so
and you're one entity. What I'm trying to do is I've got to bring a collaboration, a coalition together,
herding cats,
to all work it out. And so we're talking about not only doing a regional website for economic development and coordinating and facilitating that, but also then the issue is, what do you do with the information that you get? Because we have a forensics tool that actually tells us who's been on our website in the last, say, 30 days, 60 days. So I can tell you how many times Amazon's been on our website in the last year. Or when we go to a life science, bioscience conference, I can tell you that Johnson & Johnson or Pfizer, or Bayer has been on our website,
followed up,
and is looking for additional information. So then the question is how do we share that with our partners? So the second piece of this, and we've had small iterations of this that maybe didn't work well because they weren't well defined, but essentially where you have a regional alliance of people who work in economic development that come together and compare notes. And so so I call it an economic development alliance. We in the past have hosted an economic development advisory group, but I think it lacked clear definition of what it was going to do. I think it's important that this group be chaired or co-chaired by business leaders in the community, because it's an economic development effort, and that the idea would be it'd be practitioners that really come together and not only share their plans of who's contacting them. We can share ideas about if we're going to do targeted recruitment. Which industry are we recruiting? Which, where are we going to recruit them? What does that effort look like? Is it advertising? Are we going to a conference? What does that look like? As well as we can compare notes about all the inbound. We can talk about which cities are pursuing which infrastructure projects, and maybe do a little bit of lobbying along the way to say this would really help us be able to sell that area of the region. And so have a chance to have our local economists come and give us updates about what they're seeing with regard to some of the labor statistics and trends, which industries are growing, which ones are shrinking. And so this would be kind of that focal point where everybody would come together, really compare notes, and be able to strategically think about how we move forward.
And share information that's so vital. Because what I may know, I may not have known that you want that information too.
That's right.
That's part of it, isn't it?
Yes.
To get everybody in that same room, lock the doors, and let's share.
So those are a couple of initiatives that that we're pursuing. Like I say, just kind of saying it's been a little bit too loose net recently, and it's maybe time to.
So what's the timeline? By the end of the year?
Yes.
Okay.
Collaboration.
And that sounds like that's 6 months away. However, we all know these things take a while.
They do.
They just do, because to come to agreement and then to put it down on paper, if you will, electronically, and so forth, and then agree that it's right, wrong, and so forth. That's going to take some while, and you're dealing with business people and others who are busy. Because they're running their own businesses as well.
Identify the stakeholders, bring them in, agree to the vision, and then start building the strategies that support the vision.
I love it. That's great. That's great news.
So a couple things we're working on.
Okay. GSI has been around for what, 11 years, 12 years?
Since the 1890s.
1890. Well, I'm not.
GSI, the organization.
The organization.
Because we've gone through a few different iterations. So 11 years ago, in 2007, we merged the Spokane Area Economic Development Council with the Spokane Regional Chamber of Commerce. We actually created a new category. We're not the first one to go into this category, not the last, but it's a new category because some people say, "Are you an economic development entity, an EDC? Are you a chamber?" And we keep saying, "Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
yes." So we are a business development organization.
Yeah.
And what does that mean? What it means is that we do everything we can to create a good environment where businesses can be successful for both businesses that are already here,
Yes.
typically the focus
Yes.
of a chamber,
Right.
as well as for businesses that are looking to expand here or relocate here, typically the focus of an EDC.
Right.
And so that's what we do.
So often you hear from the current and present business people, well, but they're just bringing in new business and so forth. However, not to compete with
Right.
your own business, but to add more buyers and everything else
Right.
that goes with that.
That whole supply chain.
It is. And sometimes we forget about that because we think we're losing to, well, this entity is bringing in our competition. Yes, but
Right.
the more homes for sale, the better the economy is going to be. The more whatever, the more widgets, the better off we're all going to be.
And I remind people all the time, when we talk about economic development, some people say, "Oh, that means you're recruiting businesses from outside the area."
Exactly.
We actually have 7 different facets of economic development. Recruitment is only one of them.
Yeah.
Another one is focusing on business expansion,
Yes.
focusing on business retention, focusing on startups.
Yep.
We're also focusing on infrastructure,
Right.
business climate, and one that
How
we've talked about
how
in the
about
past.
potholes?
Talent
Oh.
is can I find employees that have the talent set that I need to be successful?
Well, and we're now in an economy when there are more jobs than there are employees available.
Right.
I mean, how did that happen?
It's
You know,
competitive.
I mean, it is, and we talk about the minimum wage and everything else. Guess what's going to rise in the next
Wages.
6
They
months?
already
a year?
are.
They are.
They already
yes,
are.
they are.
Yes.
Because we're in competition with the TV stations in town and others to bring people in and so forth, and we feel that.
Right.
You know, that talent pool out there. We're very fortunate in who we have, except the one guy that's working this show, Vinny. And I'm seeing if he's listening. Yeah, he's listening. But I mean, welcome to the world. But what a
Yeah.
great thing. I'm
Right.
not complaining because that's good for all of us.
Right. So we've been doing this for 11 years. And
Yes.
like I said, we take this comprehensive look at economic
Okay.
development, doing some great things. We've got a couple of our programs that are national models, getting
Yes.
a lot of attention.
Yes.
And so it's time to, every once in a while, as you know, go back and refresh your brand.
Okay.
You know, and so we're in that process right now. We're refreshing the brand for Greater Spokane Incorporated.
Okay.
You know, we're at 801 West Riverside. That building was a collaborative of a lot of business entities.
Yes.
It's called SRBC, Spokane Regional
yes,
Business Center.
yes, yes.
Some of those entities have moved out, but I think we're looking at maybe rebranding the building as the Greater Spokane Incorporated building.
Okay.
Changing the look and feel of that, and then rolling out perhaps we're not changing the name.
Okay.
So we still think it means what it was when we created that name.
Right.
Is Greater Spokane Incorporated, meaning the Greater Spokane community.
Yes.
And we do think that there is a lot of synergy in coalition building.
Yeah.
So
We just
doing it
literally,
together.
for our station, went through that. It used to be Spokane Talks Online.
Right.
The online is gone because, and I'm going to guess most of our audience doesn't know, that starting at the end of July, we're going to be on local TV as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so our company name now is Spokane Talks Media.
Okay.
Because we do more than just online.
Okay.
And welcome to, you've got to take a look at what you're doing and the changes that come with that and call it what it is.
Right.
And talk about that. So
So-
I think that's 11 years is a long time in a
11
lot
years.
of ways with electronic media and everything else we have today in social media.
Yep.
So
Eventually, you got to get rid of the shag carpet, you know. So maybe it's coming
The
back.
orange shag carpet, that's where I grew up with.
But yeah, so we're
Okay.
going to take a look at it,
Good,
and
good.
what you may see is a different look and feel to our
Okay.
name.
Okay.
Maybe a different font, different color, different logo,
Ooh,
and so
okay.
so
when is this going to happen? By
our,
the end of the year?
Our annual meeting is September, and
Oh.
we're trying to target a rollout aligned with
Okay.
our annual meeting. And so,
Oh,
annual
Lord.
meeting, we're actually going to have a nationally recognized futurist
Oh,
come
okay.
in who will talk about trends that they see developing in our demographics,
Okay.
and how businesses need to respond to those changing those changing trends.
Because what you and I knew 10, 20 years ago is different today.
Absolutely.
You know, and trying to stay on top of that,
Mm-hmm.
and in your position, trying to stay on top of that so you can disseminate the information to your members and the business community.
Right.
It's a tough job. You got to keep working at it
Right.
constantly.
Got to be cutting edge and
Yeah.
make sure. I mean, we're an organization with 1,200 businesses. I have a board of directors with 70 community leaders.
Yeah, I always laugh at that
And,
when you've got that many on
my
a board.
executive committee is
Oh, Lord.
20, and so it's it is a broad-based group
yeah.
representing a lot of the business community, and so we need to make sure that they have all the tools that they need to be right on the cutting edge.
Right. Well, speaking of outside and everything else, who's visiting Spokane coming up? We've
We
got some
have-
really good groups coming
We
in.
have a
don't
lot of organizations coming this week and in the coming weeks.
Okay.
So this week, Washington Roundtable.
Yep.
That is a statewide organization made up of CEOs statewide, a lot of those based in the Puget Sound. They don't often come to the Spokane area.
Yeah, because they think the east side is Bellevue.
Bellevue, yeah.
Yeah.
And the map stops at the Cascades. But they'll be coming this Thursday.
Good.
So tomorrow.
Okay.
So they'll be coming to Spokane and kind of getting a look and a feel for what's going on here in Spokane. So that'll be nice.
Great.
Right now, the chair of their organization is Betsy Coles.
Okay.
But we have other local CEOs involved as well.
Right.
Pete Stanton from Washington Trust Bank.
Right.
Scott Morris from Avista.
Right.
And a couple of others as well that
Good.
are active in
So
that
we're
community.
well
Yeah.
represented.
So Washington Roundtable on the
Good.
same day, starting that day, we have the Life Science Washington organization.
Okay.
So this is a statewide trade organization that represents all the life and bioscience, health science companies.
Okay.
So a lot of research activity going
Okay.
on in the state. They are recognizing
And-
that this
and
is more of a
between us-
statewide focus.
And between us and Pullman and so forth, we do a lot of research.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. And so specifically in the areas of infectious disease,
Okay.
cancer, and metabolic diseases like
Okay.
kidneys and diabetes.
Wow,
So
okay.
so we do a lot. So they are
I
actually
always love this
hosting
because I
their
learn so much from what you guys do.
So they're hosting their East-West Summit in
Okay.
Spokane later this week, and
Okay.
so they'll be bringing businesses from all over the state in that industry.
Okay.
Later this summer, we have an international conference coming to Spokane.
Ooh, okay.
And it's called PNWAR. PNWAR is the Pacific Northwest region. It's
Okay.
made up of states in the Northwest,
Okay.
as well as Canadian provinces.
Okay.
So a lot of businesses as well as governmental entities.
Kind of the region, really.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you've got 3, I think, Canadian provinces, and I think you've got 5 states.
Okay.
And their annual meeting is being held
6
this year
if you
in
count the state of
Spokane.
confusion.
That's right. That's
Okay.
right. So they'll be in Spokane. Career Connect Washington, which is a special task force of the governor.
Okay.
And they're the ones that are trying to connect students while they're in the K through 12 system.
Yes.
And identifying what careers they may want to pursue.
Okay.
This is one of those where they come to Spokane to check out what we're doing at GSI. We have a number
Because you've got
of
some good programs
great
going
programs.
for
Business
students.
after school.
Yes.
We've got Greater Minds, really trying to connect people. So Career Connect Washington will be in the Spokane area later this month.
Great.
And then we have the Department of Commerce is bringing the governor over to tour one of our more recent companies that's located in Spokane, Katera.
Okay.
Katera is the company that makes cross-laminated timber beams
Okay.
that typically have been used in housing in the past, but more and more they're being reintroduced into commercial buildings.
Ah, okay,
So
okay.
it's a
Well, that
sustainable
makes
resource
sense.
for
That
commercial
makes
buildings.
sense, yeah.
So that manufacturing facility is going up right now in Spokane Valley. So there will be a large contingent.
When does that
touring
open? When do they start? Do you remember?
I don't know. I
Okay.
believe by the end of the year.
Okay,
But
okay.
but there's a number of construction projects going on. I'm struggling to keep track of,
I
of
know.
all of their completion dates.
I'm not going to
Yeah.
fault you because isn't that great news?
It is great news.
It really is great news
It
to
is.
see the cranes downtown, and I don't mean the ones that fly.
Right.
I mean the ones that are building and things that are going on.
Lots of activity.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but it puts some pressure on the community that we need to take care of as well. Which
Yes.
is, what we don't want to become is we don't want to suffer the negative consequences of larger metropolitan areas.
Yeah.
And so certainly we need to be very careful to make sure that we've got affordable housing stock.
Yes, yes.
For people at all income levels. Right now we have a very, very tight housing market.
Yes,
Not
yes.
a lot of houses on the market for
Right,
sale.
right.
Not a lot of vacancies in the rental market, whether it's individual houses or multifamily.
Well, we just have the M that's opening. We have
Right.
the Ridpath, whatever it's called.
And a wait list already on those.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So
Chronicle
So
building. Yeah.
that does tell you
Yes.
that there is a waiting list, if you will. So
About a 1.5% vacancy rate on the rental
Wow.
market. About a 1.5% vacancy rate on commercial industrial buildings.
wow,
And
we haven't
so,
seen that for a while, have we?
No. No, so it's putting pressure on rents. It's putting pressure on costs of those buildings.
Yes.
And so we'll see where it goes. So what we need to do is make sure as a community that we're anticipating the growth, because what's happening is, some people are just getting
not
fed up.
knee-jerk reaction to it. Yeah.
So some people are getting fed up with the challenges of being in these large metropolitan areas, and they're saying there's got to be something better.
Yeah.
So they're looking at communities like Spokane.
Right.
We see a tremendous amount of people coming from the Puget Sound and from Portland and parts of California that are coming here.
Can't blame
and
them.
so I think elected officials need to make sure that, can we accommodate them? Do we have the infrastructure to accommodate them? When we think about road projects, are we thinking about capacity?
Yes.
It's not just about changing the appearance or road
That
calming
worries
or
me
dieting.
a little bit on the road dieting. Are we hurting ourselves by? And I don't know the answer. I know the businesses along there like that because of the slowing down and everything else.
Right.
But a lot of people travel from one location to the other to go to and from work and so forth. And I start to worry about that.
Right. We have to be
I
able to
don't know
move,
what the answer is.
We have to be able to
Okay.
move people and product.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and if you live on the north side and you work downtown, not every trip between your
It's
home
fun.
and work is going to be a shopping venture on Monroe Street. And so
that's true.
So at some point we've got to be able to move people in an efficient manner, and otherwise we will suffer the consequences of those areas where people are criticizing the congestion.
Well, Todd, thank you. So many good things. I always
You
look
bet.
forward to this because in the last year or so, things have really picked up and we're looking good. We're
We are
really
looking
good.
Things are happening.
Yeah. So thank you for all that you do, your board does, and your staff. I know we see your staff every so often on startup program and so forth. In fact, they'll be here next week, and just good things going on. So
lots of good stuff going on. Startup Spokane, program of Greater Spokane Incorporated.
Yep.
And but also really working to help those people with a great idea and trying to figure out how to convert that into a business.
Thank you very much for all you do.
Thanks, Ken.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll talk about one of the local businesses, Instant Sign Factory, right after this.
The economy is getting stronger. Banks are lending again, and interest rates are at historic lows. Now is a great time to buy your dream home. The caring and knowledgeable professionals at Homes for You have been helping people just like you for over 20 years. They take the time to listen to what you want and will help you find just the right home in Washington or Idaho. Real estate is what we do at Homes for You, 928-5782, or visit online at homes4uspokane.com.
Is your child having trouble coping with a personal disability, but don't know where to go? Consider our friends at Breakthrough Incorporated. Breakthrough takes great pride in mentoring their DDA clients who have intellectual disabilities and their BRS clients who have challenging behaviors toward the creation of safe, appropriate, ethically sound life goals. They integrate programs at school and home to enrich their lives. They work hard to make a positive difference in you and your family's lives. Breakthrough provides a highly structured, fully staffed residential setting in local neighborhoods, 6 in Spokane and 2 in the Tri-Cities. Diagnoses affect people differently, so their service to each resident is unique, giving them the opportunity to grow and evolve. For more information on Breakthrough, visit their website at breakthroughincorporated.org.
You're really doing it. You're ready to buy a house. You know what you can afford, you've got a pre-approval letter, and you and your partner haven't killed each other yet. Now's the fun part. First, think about your main requirements.
Location,
house type,
square footage,
number of beds and baths,
garage,
property age,
Then think about specific features.
waterfront,
pool,
local schools,
neighborhood safety,
walking distance to parks.
proximity to a decent Turkish bathhouse.
HO.
From there, input all your search criteria. Min-max prices, number of beds and baths, single fam, multifam, condo, co-op, villa, townhouse, farm, whatever. You can even draw your own custom search around the neighborhood you want. The open house is the most fun you can have in real estate. It's like having carte blanche to walk into a total stranger's house and snoop around while they're not there. Here are a few pointers. First, feel free to step in without knocking or ringing the bell. Unless you see a note saying otherwise, in which case, yes, knock and/or ring. It's generally considered good open house etiquette to wait until a group of buyers leaves a room or area before entering.
What we were talking about. Let's check it out. I know, so.
Listen to what other buyers are saying. They may know something about the property or neighborhood that you don't.
I bet they don't even know they have
Oh,
this.
no. Ask questions about the house, how long it's been on the market, the school district, the property taxes, but keep it cool. Don't give yourself away by sounding too excited.
And the schools in this area are incredible. Woo! They're actually building a brand new one 3 blocks away. What? And it should be open in the middle of next year.
Please do not steal. Finally, if there are snacks or refreshments, do not take them. It'll skew your perspective. Unless they're mini quiches. Those little are tasty as hell.
Well, welcome back. Boy, talking with Todd Mielke, a lot of good things going on, which is good, Dave Nail, for you and me and all of us who own businesses, right?
I think so, yes.
All right, Dave Nail, Instant Sign Factory. You've been working with me in the TV and radio and back now to TV stuff we've been doing for about 6-7 years. Yeah, and you still talk to me.
Amazing.
That's fun. What I like about you is that, one, you're very receptive to ideas. Number two, you guys are always on time and do a great job. And the other thing is, you're constantly evolving because everything in your industry, as in so many industries, continues to change.
Yes.
What you know from 5 or 10 years ago, it's different today.
Yes.
You're seeing a lot more of the, what do you call when you cover the cars and so forth?
Wraps.
Wraps.
That sort of thing.
All of those things. 10 years ago, were they even being done? It may be a few.
Not really.
Yeah.
Not like
that's
they
what
are
I mean.
today. Yes.
Welcome to how things are going.
Right.
What has been the biggest change for you at Instant Sign Factory?
I think the move to digital production
Oh, okay.
and design.
Okay.
And this really allows us, for instance, on a wrap, we can actually take different materials, which are, that field has increased amazingly
bet.
over time. But the way you can work with them, the kind of colors you can print.
Okay.
And basically we can put a layout directly onto a vehicle so you know what it's going to look like before it's ever done, which is kind of fun.
Really?
Yes. And
You mean digitally, so they can see that?
So
Okay.
they'll see what it looks like.
Here's what your car or truck's going to look like.
Yeah, it keeps
Wow.
the surprise ratio down. You know,
Yeah,
and a lot of
yes.
people are visual, and so. But not only that, the materials are amazing now.
Really?
I mean, in terms of being able to wrap things around, we wrap coolers. We wrapped a kiosk in one of the malls here just recently. I mean, it's anything you really want to wrap, but that's one side of it. And then the other materials and applications that are kind of fun now is our wall graphics.
Really?
Yeah, it's funny.
Give me an
Wallpaper-
example.
Well, you know, for instance, wallpaper has been around for a long time.
Yes,
but
yes.
a recent example is a client wanted to have a wood room, if you will, or at least the feeling of wood.
Okay.
And took a long wall, and actually we found something that was good artwork-wise, and it looks like a wood wall. I mean,
but you paste it up there in
Yeah,
is
yeah.
a fabric or a plastic or something.
it's vinyl. And
Vinyl,
it's,
okay.
But I was talking to our client, and they said their boss came in and had to touch it to make sure it wasn't wood. I mean,
Really?
it's really realistic. So the digital age is here just in so
Yeah.
many different ways, and it's a lot of fun, and you know, it makes us more productive also at the design stage and that sort
Okay.
of thing. So yeah, it's fun.
All right. So give me a sense of some of the businesses that you work with, because you work with some of the key businesses in town.
Yeah, we do. We're fortunate enough to deal with a lot of the folks who've been around for a long time, as we have, and
Yeah.
we've been able to stay with those
How many
folks.
years?
We're in our 27th year.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so we're dating ourselves, I
Yeah.
think.
Well, let's not go there. Let's not talk about
But it's still a lot
age
of
too much.
fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of the key industries we deal in, and we deal in every industry, but it could be the financial institutions. We do quite a bit with the larger financial
Okay.
groups in town.
Okay.
Universities, we do quite a bit of work with Gonzaga, Eastern,
Okay.
Whitworth.
Just to name drop a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's we're fortunate enough to work closely with Northern Quest,
Okay.
who has a lot of things going on right now. And
Yes,
I heard Todd
yes.
talking about Spokane, and some of these entities
But then you
within
start-
their own are doing a lot.
And then yes, and then you start to talk about the summer series out there and a lot
Yes.
of other things, and they continue to grow, and they have need for signage.
Yeah, and it's
And
all
it may not
types.
be the traditional name on the sign. Maybe the artwork kinds of things that you're talking
basically
about.
to bring an effect, a feeling, or something
Yes.
like that. But they have so many different venues, for instance, in Northern Quest, and
Okay.
so.
Yes.
But all clients have needs, which is great, and they come to us with ideas, and a lot of times we'll help them with that. And getting it out on a timely basis is always important.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it's.
Well, you
we
guys
continue
work
to do that.
long days and long hours there, don't you?
We're small business.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. Welcome to our world. For those of you who don't know
Yeah.
the small business, right?
But we bring it upon ourselves too. The Instant Sign Factory is our name, and so there's an expectation there. And it's funny because I call it the Amazon effect.
Okay.
Back in the day we started, it was Insty Prints and
Yes.
the local photo booths, that sort of thing. But
Right.
now with the Amazon effect, in terms of expecting things right away.
Well, I want to look at it,
Is
order
there
it today.
now?
I want it on my front porch tomorrow morning.
Yeah, so that's kind of a newer thing. It's kind of what we've done in the past for different reasons, but it definitely is.
There's
there
no
today.
choice now.
Yeah, so we're looking at efficiencies and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
Okay, well, great. If people need to get in touch with you, how do they best do that?
They can always call us, but we do a lot via email.
Okay.
And our website. They can contact us through our
Through the
website,
website.
InstantSignFactory.com.
Okay.
And you can also there's emails you can send directly to us, and,
Okay.
and basically we just need to know what you're looking for, size, the kind of product,
Right.
and we'll get back.
Right.
We try to get back within 24
What
hours.
I mentioned to you before we started the program today is Faye, who works for you, who I deal with most of the time.
Sure.
But she's much better looking than you, but that's a given, right?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so polite. So she sends a note back, thank you, and I'll send a note back, no, thank you, the old George Carlin
Yeah,
thing,
right.
And just wonderful, great relationship with the clients that come in, and that means so much today.
Yeah, she does a great job for us,
Yeah.
and the customer relationship is, as we all know, and in Spokane in
Yes.
particular,
Yes.
is really important.
Yeah.
So Faye does a great job
Well,
for us.
personally, and from our company, for all the things that you do, including our business cards and our, we need to talk about a new poster, a new sign out in our green room out
We
there
do
too,
lots
by
of
the
them.
way. Yeah.
You bet.
But all the things that you do for us, we so appreciate. You guys have been
Sure.
on target, on time, and everything else. So thank you very much, Dave,
Okay, thank you.
for all you do. And no hesitation. Instant Sign Factory is our sign company. Hey, thanks for watching. Tomorrow at this time will be She Says with Stephanie Regalado, and I'll see you back here. No, I won't. Starting next Tuesday, Colin Pittman will be here hosting the show on Tuesdays and Wednesdays for the next 6 weeks, while Kent gets some other things in the back room taken care of. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Spokane Talks Live is produced in Spokane, Washington by Spokane Talks Online LLC, which is solely responsible for its content. To recommend a guest or topic, or to see this program again, please visit our website, SpokaneTalksOnline.com. Spokane Talks Live is brought to you by our friends at Homes for You and Breakthrough Incorporated. Join us next Wednesday, noon, for another nourishing conversation on Spokane Talks Live.